Demis Hassabis, welcome back to Hard Fork.
Thanks for having me again.
A lot has happened since the last time you were on the show. Most notably, you won a Nobel Prize. Congrats on that.
Congrats.
Some people are starting to look at the job market, especially for recent college graduates, and worry that we're already starting to see signs of AI-powered job loss. Anecdotally, I talked to young people who a couple years ago might have been interested in going into fields like tech or consulting or finance or law, who are just saying, like, I don't know that these jobs are going to be around much longer. A recent article in The Atlantic wondered if we're starting to see AI competing with college graduates for these entry-level positions. Do you have a view on that?
Maybe it's starting to appear now. I don't think there's any hard numbers on that yet. At least I haven't seen it. I think for now, I mostly see these as tools that are augmenting what you can do and what you can achieve.
I mean, I think the tension there is that you're right. These tools do give people so much more leverage, but they also reduce the need for big teams of people doing certain things. I was talking to someone recently who said, they had been at a data science company in their previous job that had 75 people working on some kind of data science tasks. And now they're at a startup that has one person doing the work that used to require 75 people.
What normally happens with big sort of new technology shifts, which is that some jobs get disrupted. In theory, it should be those other 70 people, whatever, could be creating new startup ideas. Maybe it's going to be less of these bigger teams and more smaller teams of very powered by AI tools.
I think there are even more people now who are actively antagonistic toward AI. And I think maybe one reason is they hear folks at the big labs saying pretty loudly, eventually this is going to replace your job. And most people just think, well, I don't want that, you know? So I'm curious if you feel like we have seen some use cases, enough use cases to start to shift public opinion.
Well, I think we're working on those things. They take time to develop. I think a kind of universal assistant would be one of those things if it was kind of really yours and working for you effectively. So technology that works for you. I think that this is what economists and other experts should be working on: is does everyone manage a suite of fleet of agents that are doing things for you and including potentially earning you money or building you things? Does that become part of the normal job process? I could imagine that in the next 4 or 5 years. I also think that as we get closer to AGI and we make breakthroughs in, we probably talked about last time, material sciences, energy, fusion, these sorts of things helped by AI. We should start getting to a position in society where we're getting towards what I would call radical abundance, where there's a lot of resources to go around. And then again, it's more of a political question of how would you distribute that in a fair way, right? So I've heard this term like universal high income, something like that. I think is going to probably be good and necessary.